And so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Steve, let him tell you a little bit more about himself, and just get you to capture his vision of what recognition can do for your organizations and for the world. So please welcome Steve Sonnenberg to the stage.
Thank you, Paige. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, Awardco employees, if you're here, let's do a two-banger. 1, 2. All right, you're going to see that at Awardco. We do that all the time. Paige, thank you for putting on this event. Paige, thank you, and Caroline for helping. Let's give them a two-banger. 1, 2. Awesome. We're getting the hang of it. I love it. Recognition, I am so obsessed with recognition because it's part of who I am, with my father being in the employee recognition space for the past 40 years. He still is doing recognition. He still doesn't know what the hell I'm doing with Awardco, because he's all about rings and lapel pins and plaques. And so now he's just like, whoa, what's the digital stuff that you're doing? And Amazon. And so it's really exciting talking to him and being able to collaborate with him, telling him what we're doing. But he's been my inspiration from the beginning. So one of the things that I absolutely love, and every time I have a meeting with people, I will start with a recognition. And that's something that I love to do. So if I have a meeting of 10 or more employees in a room, we're going to do a recognition. And so I have some recognitions. If we can show the screen. These are recognitions from you. What I love about this is Awardco is a platform where all the good lives inside your walls. And it's also a platform where all the good can live even outside your walls, from customers. We now, for the first time, have you participate in our recognitions. And so here's some recognitions. From a Rec Summit attendee to Laura. Laura was our partner during our fast-paced 10-week implementation. She was amazing as we made a ton of decisions, helped us understand the impact of each one, and successfully launched on time to 12,000 global associates. The implementation was one of the most well-received programs from our associates' point of view. It was seamless, transparent, and available on day one. Laura, you are a gem. Let's give Laura a two-banger. 1, 2. That's what we do at Awardco. We recognize the good. And it's awesome when you do that. With you being in charge of recognition, I challenge you to do the same. When you start a meeting, start with the good. Start with a recognition. Awardco is capturing all that for you. You can quickly go here and read the recognitions. And so when you look at this is Awardco's feed right here. These are all the recognitions. And I actually, on the left side, I create filters. So I can quickly say, you know what? How about all the recognitions I've given? Am I doing? And that's one of the things I love about recognition. It's inclusive. It doesn't matter if I'm the CEO or John is a developer and we hardly talk. But John helped me the other day because there was a Lego set that we built to represent one of our clients. I like to put things, we were just talking about it, when we have incredible customers, and I like to buy things that represent who that customer is, and I put it on our shelves upstairs to surround ourselves with the great customers. And so I bought this Hogwarts Express train, and the other day, one of the trains was broken. And John saw me like kind of sad, just like, oh man, it took my wife forever to put this together. And John's like, I got it. And he put it together. So I gave him a recognition. And so it's just the simple things. The simple things that we do every day needs to be recognized. And Awardco is obsessed with it. If you think of us having 400 employees, we're going to end the year with 32,000 recognitions. We have to be the best at it. And hopefully you feel that when we talk to you. We want you to be the same. We want you to be able to recognize always. And so it starts with you as leaders. And when you go into a meeting, I want you to start with a recognition. You're going to have people catch on. And that's something that's extremely important to me. And one of the huge things that we talked about with Spence and your team, I love the external recognitions feature that's coming out. So when you think about your customers, how can they participate in your recognition programs? Because in the end, what are we trying to do? we're trying to drive the right behavior. And how do you drive the right behavior? It's by recognizing the good, telling them when they did something amazing so then they could repeat that. And so we've been recognizing since we were little babies. Awardco is just, we want to be everywhere. We want to be in your tech stack. We want you to recognize whether you're on Teams or Outlook or Slack or on Awardco. We want you to recognize, and we want to capture that data. And we want that data to be put back to that employee who actually made the impact, whether it's employees or customers. So think about that in your design strategy moving forward. How can I include my customers in this recognition strategy? So thank you for participating in those recognitions. I was going to the bathroom. Awardco, you guys put them all over the place. I'm in the stall. I can recognize someone. I mean, that's pretty cool. With QR codes. So that was incredible. So another thing that I just want to highlight. This is a post I made the other day. That's my son. I have an 18-year-old. I can't believe I have an 18-year-old. I have 4 kids. My oldest is 18. My youngest is 13. 4 kids in 5 years. Stopped at 4. I don't know how my wife did it. So that's my son, Canyon. He started at Awardco a few weeks ago, and he asked for advice. And I told him, and I wrote this on LinkedIn the other day, if you want to be seen, recognize. And I think that is extremely important in anyone starting their career, anyone even to this day. If you want to be seen, recognize someone. Because when you recognize someone, you see it on the screens, you see it in the feeds. I just shared the recognitions that you provided our employees, and I thank you for that. I was in Chicago yesterday, and I was seeing them come through. It connected me with you. Recognition is the bridge that connects us. Whether I'm in a different state, whether your employees are at home or they're in the office, recognition is the bridge that connects us. It is so important more than ever now. Also, recognitions at Awardco are posted on TV screens. That's important. So when I'm walking around, I'll see recognitions posted, and I'll see if my son recognized someone. But if you want to be seen, recognize, because guess what? If you are one who recognizes, I want to belong. I want to be by you. You're someone that I look up to. And so I believe that's just something so simple, I think, that is overlooked. So again, it's awesome to receive recognition. You can't control that. You can control recognizing people. So make it a goal. With our executive team, our Monday meetings, I tell our team, I want you to recognize at least 2 people this week. Now, I don't report back the next week and say, oh, guess what, you didn't recognize. I don't focus on the bad, because guess what? I recognize the good. And I'll meet with our executives and I'll say, guys, this is how much we recognize. This is awesome. It's going in the right direction. And here are the top 5 people that I just want to give you a shout out. I don't focus on the bad. And I hope to drive a good behavior amongst our executive team, and I just focus on the good. So I tell them, let's recognize. I follow up the next week, and I then spotlight the top 5 recognitions. And then people want to be on the top 5. The most competitive person in this room, I think, is Spence. Spence is always at the top of the list. And I love it, though, because he is so passionate about recognition, and he is at the head of our product team. And so he's passionately building this product for you to inspire, to create a sense of belonging. Because what we do together is we're creating an organization where people want to belong. A lot of people don't feel a sense of connection. They don't feel a sense of belonging. People have ended their life because they don't feel that connection with people. So this platform is cool, and it does a lot of cool things, but it's bigger than that. And I share this all the time. There's a movement happening, and you guys are at the center. You guys are recognizing the good. You guys are creating a better culture where people feel a sense of belonging. How cool is that? And so my challenge is, think about the status quo. Think about what you're doing now. And how are you going to break it? How are you going to do things differently? Because what inspired me to build Awardco was I was appalled by the old school methodologies of recognition, of service anniversaries, of recognizing with high markups, expensive shipping. I just was blown away with how things were done for decades. And I knew there had to be a better way. There was the Amazon-like way I wanted to develop. And you got to break the status quo. So think about the programs that you're doing right now, and how can you get to be at a point where you're recognizing so many times, like Awardco, 400 employees, 32,000 recognitions. You guys can all get there. And I just want you to think deeply about your programs and why are you doing them? And think about how you can do it better. And that's what we did with service awards. At Awardco, some of you know this, some of you might not know this, but traditionally people recognize every 5 years, which is great. Through technology, I wanted to increase that. So a lot of our customers do 1, 3, 5, and so on. Now we're starting to get people to do it every year. But I said, I want to do this differently. So at Awardco, we took our service award programs and flipped it upside down, and we created something different, where we recognize every month. We pulled from our service award budget. On day 1, you get $25 a month. And you get that until your first year, and then you get $50 a month. Year 3, you get $75 a month, and so on, all the way up to $150. That's thinking about it differently. And if you ask awardees, that's what we call us, awardees, what is the best program at Awardco? It's that program. And people love it, and it's a great baseline to all the other great recognitions that they're receiving. But we recognize every month, and we send out an email saying, we appreciate you. That's thinking about it differently. I'm not saying you can do that right away, but I want you to think differently. Because if you stay at the status quo, that's the most risky thing you can do. You need a challenge. You need to challenge your leadership. You have an opportunity to do things differently because Awardco came out, it's different, it's modern, it's different than everything else. It has the ability to make such a big change within your organizations, bigger than anything else. That's why I absolutely love Awardco, and I am just blown away at the customers we work with. We work with the biggest companies in the world. I mean, how cool is that? I pinch myself all the time because it's just, I work with brands that I'm customers myself of. So it's just super exciting. So one other thing, and then I'll close, because I can just go on and on. If you guys have had me in demos, I get pretty excited about the things that we're talking about. Yesterday I was in Chicago at an Amazon event called Amazon Reshape. And they're great partners of ours. I've been working with Amazon. They told me they're going to give me a badge here soon, which is great. I go to Seattle often, and I meet with their executives. I was with their Amazon business CEO. We were strategizing on some cool new things that we're working on. But I was also with their global team talking about how we can make Awardco and Amazon, the integration, even better, the Amazon-like experience. So we're working on some really cool things. And just to feature some of them that I'm really excited about, they want it to be the Prime experience. And we've told many of you that you can't do Amazon Prime. Some of you have it, most don't, because Amazon didn't want you to have Prime. You pay a couple $100s a year, and then everyone gets free shipping. Now, and you get it in like a day or two. Well, if you don't do Prime, you get it in like 5 or 10 days, and that's fine too, but it's still most of the time free shipping. Well, they just told me that all our Awardco customers can make their Amazon business accounts Amazon Business Prime. So you can do that, which, you can clap. You're like, what does that even mean? I thought we were Prime. Some of you are, some of you aren't. Most of you aren't. What does that mean? That means that we can turn on Prime in your Amazon business account, and when someone orders something, if they're closest to an Amazon warehouse, they might get it that same day. Right now, if you're not on Prime, that's not going to happen. It'll be 3 to 10 days in shipping. So that's something I want to look at with all your accounts. We can turn your accounts on to Amazon Business Prime. And that way you can get 1-day, 2-day shipping. They're also going to expand the code to allow us to give the employees choice in the future. So if they're going to pick something and they want to expedite it the next day, they can spend an extra 5 points or whatever it is. Let's say it's $5 to get there faster. That doesn't exist right now. They're going to expose that, so that's going to be part of the checkout function in the future. So that is awesome. That's the Amazon experience that we're used to. Oh, I need this item like tomorrow. Great. Just pay 5 points and you'll get it tomorrow. So it's those type of things that I am so excited about. And we have a whole bunch of other things that we're innovating on. I'm really excited for the future of where we're going with you. And we're going to make Awardco your marketplace for all your employees. It is your marketplace that you can configure and tweak. And one other thing just to highlight that is my favorite, Spence, because I've been traveling and I've been using it. You guys talked about it yesterday, but that award card was awesome. It's like guilt-free money where I'm going through and I bought like a donut from Dunkin' Donuts for $3. I would never spend $3 for a donut. But on Awardco, I did because it was guilt-free money. And this is powerful because this works with your Awardco account. When you have 500 points in your platform, you can spend whatever you want on the platform, but then when you go to Dunkin' Donuts in the airport, you can get a donut. That's really powerful. And so I'm really excited to partner with you and see where that makes sense. The future's bright. I love all the innovation. I love hearing the talks today. I love you collaborating with one another. We are going to continue to create experiences where we come together and we work as a team and we learn from each other. And so we can't wait to get your feedback to learn how we can continue to improve. But more importantly, let's remember to always recognize how important your role is today in this world, in a negative world. We want to recognize the good always. We want to lead with the good. We want to assume the good. We also want to recognize that some things are bad, and that sucks, and that's okay. But we want to recognize that we can also do better. And that's why you'll see me wear this like all the time. In fact, if you look at our flag when you walk out, it's a black flag that says recognize. Because we are for those that recognize, and I know you are too. So let's go ahead and end this conference with a 2-banger. Ready? 1, 2. Thank you.